It starts with a drum beat. A very, very loud drum beat. We're talking literal drums here. The drums don't just punctuate the action of the latest revival of Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire at the Brooklyn Academy of Music's Harvey Theater. They are a warning, advance notice of the carnage, both emotional and physical, to come. Williams' play, first staged in 1947, is about as stark as they come. A down-on-her-luck Blanche Du Bois travels to New Orleans to stay with her sister Stella and Stella's husband, Stanley Kowalski. To say Stanley does not appreciate the intrusion would be an understatement of epic proportions. He and Blanche but heads from the start, with his savagery and her lies about what really happened back in Mississippi on a collision course. Director Rebecca Frecknell leans into that starkness by stripping everything down to its barest bones. Tom Penn's empathic drumming and Gabriela Garcia's occasional ethereal singing provide the soundtrack of French Quarter fear and self-loathing, while Madeleine Girling's set design consists simply of a platform roughly 25 by 25 feet across laying on top of cinder blocks. No furniture, no walls, nothing else. When not in a scene, cast members either circle or sit on the side of the stage, occasionally delivering pertinent props, a lot of liquor bottles, mostly when necessary. The most high-tech production gets the occasional indoor rainstorm, as if the water can somehow wash away all that violence and shame. Spoiler alert, it can't. A lot of that violence and shame comes, of course, from the ball of rage that is Stanley, played here by Paul Mescal. To those used to seeing Mescal shine as a quiet and caring boyfriend on Normal People, watching the Irish heartthrob play a wife-beater and rapist stalking his prey with a maniacal grin is certainly a somewhat disturbing and impressive transformation. For anyone taking on this role, comparisons to Marlon Brando, who initiated the part on both stage and screen, are all but inevitable, none more so than when crouched on the ground yelling Stella at the top of his lungs. But Mescal imbues a Stanley with a furious edge that shows not just a man being put upon by his new guest, but one constantly put down by both his in-law and society that sees him as common. Patsy Ferran was initially a replacement for Blanche in the show's original UK run after actress Lydia Wilson suffered an injury shortly before the opening, but she has more than made the role her own, which truly says something when you consider some names that have played this part before her, including Jessica Tandy, Vivian Leigh, and Cate Blanchett, the last of whom played Blanche on this very same BAM stage. Ferran is a force of hysterical nature, painting in the strong, bold colors her character so professes to adore as the elder Du Bois' sister attempts to tune out reality by literally putting a paper lantern over the light. Perhaps saddest of all is Anjana Vasan Stella, a seemingly practical and level-headed woman stuck between her needy sister and hot-tempered husband and unable or unwilling to escape either. Vasan plays Stella's resignation with something almost bordering on a shoulder shrug, which serves to make her plight all the more harrowing. While others may depend on the kindness of strangers, there is no kindness extended to Stella throughout the show's 2-hour and 45-minute runtime. The committed cast and Frecknell's wide-open staging combined provide a stunningly combative performance in which no one can hide from each other or the ugly truths they care not to confront. "I don't want realism," Blanche famously says at one point. "I want magic." Audiences watching this latest revival will receive plenty of both. Grade,